Have you ever had leaky waders? Well, if you've duck hunted for very long with waders, your answer is probably yes. So how do you fix those waders? How do you repair the holes in them so you can get the maximum use out of your waders for as long as possible? We're going to be showing you how we do it this time on Surviving Duck Season.
Surviving Duck Season, offering you the best waterfowl content. Subscribe to this channel, click the notification bell, and don't miss any of our great content. Presented by Mojo Outdoors and High and Dry.
Hey everybody, I'm Joel Strickland. Thanks so much for watching this week's Surviving Duck Season. Now, the last several weeks we've kind of had the topic of leaky waders, and again today we're talking about leaky waders, but how do you fix them? Now, if you haven't entered in the contest to win a pair of High and Dry waders, the ones that are not leaking, make sure you check out the link above right here. It'll take you to the video where you can find out how you can enter and maybe get your own pair of High and Dry waders for free. Now, on today's video, we're going to be showing you how to fix a pair of leaky waders. I'm going to be joined by my good friend Brian Terry, one of the owners of High and Dry. Now, High and Dry waders was actually started because these guys couldn't get a good pair of waders. No matter how hard they tried, they bought everything that was available and they kept tearing them up. They're in the aquaculture business, which means they, raise and harvest clams, oysters, shellfish in the ocean. And so they're in the elements every day of the year just about, tearing up waders. So these guys are the experts on leaky waders, fixing leaky waders, and actually creating pairs of waders that will stand up to the elements. So I know this segment is really going to help you guys out. Today we're going to be talking about fixing leaky waders because, like I said, Brian is an expert in that.
Right. Well, it's one of those things that we found ourselves needing to be an expert in that because, regardless of how well your wader is manufactured and how well your seams aren't leaking, you're still going to catch your wader or your fabric on something, regardless of whether you're walking to a blind in the middle of the night or in the middle of the morning and you snag it on a tree that you don't see, you trip over something, you fall. There's so many scenarios that have you ripping this fabric.
I've tried everything, and I know Brian has probably tried a lot more things than I have, getting way outside the outdoors, types of stuff. And,
right.
We've all tried Aqua Seal, here's some seal cement, rubber cement people have used, SG20. I've used that and had some actually pretty good success with that at times. It's, on the right, type of hole, it works pretty well. Aqua Seal and seal cement, shoe goo, that kind of stuff is very, very temporary.
They all are temporary except for the 3M Marine Sealant 5200.
Have you ever tried Flex Seal? You've seen the infomercial on TV.
Oh yes.
I saw a post somebody made on Facebook something or another asking, has anybody ever tried Flex Seal? I've tried it. I've tried the kind that you in a can that you brush on. I've tried the spray stuff. I've actually tried it and it worked on some things.
Right.
I've even had it work on boats and stuff.
Sure.
But it does not work on waders.
It does not. And it goes back to the fabrics. I mean, there are multiple different types of fabrics for waders. I mean, from a PVC fabric to a breathable fabric, whether it's 3, 4, 5, 6 layer fabric. You got neoprene. It's just a whole gamut of materials, construction styles that all affect what glues will adhere to what.
Like you mentioned, this is a 3M 5200. It's a marine adhesive sealant. And I found out about it, I don't know, it's probably been a year and a half or 2 years ago. I tried it out and it blew my mind how well it worked. I know, Brian, right. You've probably been using it a lot longer than me.
We've been using that for years. But we started using that, and like with anybody else, branching out of what it was made for. This is a marine sealant, therefore it's made for boats. It's made for that type of equipment. It's not made for, or it was not designed to be working and adhering fabrics. We just tried it out one day and it's like, well, heck, we use a lot of this stuff on our boats and fixing things with the boat. Why not try it on a pair of waders?
It's funny. I look at some of the old waders that Brian has hanging up here in his shop. This is where they do work here in the aquaculture business. You know, there's waders hanging up that have, I mean, it's like half the wader is this. Yeah. You know, somebody's ripped something here and ripped something there and stretched this out and poked something here.
And you'll start seeing the fabric starting to deteriorate, and these waders are 3 to 5 years old. And keep in mind, guys, when we're working, we're in our waders at least 6 to 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, over 360 days out of the year. And that's why you see so much 5200 on it, because of just guys trying to make that gear last as long as they can.
This is not a pitch for a product, y'all. I mean, we are not, we're not sponsored by, we're not paid by, they didn't give us free product to try it out. No. This is entirely to help you guys out, because it is a gigantic problem. And, you know, this stuff, the great thing about this stuff, you know, is it's permanent.
Yes.
I mean, it will, if you apply it the right way, it will last you as long as the entire wader.
Material, yeah.
One of the biggest problems that duck hunters are facing with their waders is that they've got leaky seals.
Yep.
You know, all the way. I mean, especially in the crotch, but I mean, even down the inside of the leg or the outside leg or wherever.
Where the boot and the fabric connect, there's a lot of areas that.
So how would you use that product to solve that problem?
It's very simple and easy. You know, we use this product everywhere. On the boot, on the fabric, even putting, if you rip your straps right off the top of your wader, we'll still glue the straps back on. Any part of this product that fails, we can fix with 5200.
Okay.
So, like Joel, just like you said, so we have a pair of waders here. If you have an issue with your seam, simply turn the wader inside out. And you want to go with the crotch seam. And that was one of the first seams we talked about. The infamous crotch seam. Yeah, that's still good. Get you a tube. One thing I will warn everybody, this stuff will get everywhere. You want to pay attention to what you're doing, put a pair of gloves on, and keep an eye on where this glue goes.
Yeah,
because
I've got to get on jeans and whatever.
And it doesn't come off.
There.
when it's there, it's there. So once you get a tube going, you just squeeze it out. Take your finger and massage it. So if we're going to do the seam, you just massage it in. Get the air bubbles out. And if you're doing this on the inside of the wader, then it doesn't matter. Nobody's going to be looking for how nice and neat and clean you do it. You just want it to be effective. And then you let it dry. And this will cure in about 30 minutes to an hour. However, you want it to give it a good 24 hours to really seal and cure 100%. And after that 24 hours, so let's say in the morning, this morning we went duck hunting. I walked right up beside a tree, wasn't even paying attention, and snagged a hole in my wader. Well, when we get back to the house or to the lodge, patch the wader, and the next morning I'll be ready to go again. The other nice thing with this is, especially in the crotch seam, when this dries, it's not going to be rigid. It's not going to be rough. It's not going to chafe your legs or be uncomfortable on anywhere on the gear. It's going to move with the gear. It's going to have mobility. It's going to have dexterity. It's going to move, vibe, and pull. But the big thing that it's not going to do, it's not going to allow water in. So it's still going to keep you dry. The other thing is that this glue will outlast the fabric. And I don't care whether it's neoprene, PVC, a breathable material of how 5-layer, 3-layer, 4-layer, doesn't matter what layer material it is. This glue, once you patch your hole, your seam, it will outlast the actual fabric. So what we have here is one of our employees' waders that is damaged. He stuck a piece of rebar through the side of his boot, and luckily it didn't go in his leg.
Yeah,
and
no kidding.
yeah, I mean, not uncommon for this to happen. I mean, we have so many different scenarios and so many different materials that we use in our operation, and we always find ourselves tearing our waders up with the gear. So I'm going to show you guys here just a nice easy way that I can take this boot and have him back in the water tomorrow.
Cool.
So we're going to use, again, 3M 5200 sealant. We did not clean it, did not do anything to the boot, literally just got it in and let it dry. So now it's dried. Take 5200 and squeeze it.
It's like, it's kind of like you scratched it and poked it because there's a little piece missing.
Yes.
So it's gonna kind of fill in.
This is the 5200 is going to fill in, and then when you put a just big pile on it, I'm going to massage it in. So I'm going to rub it in so we can smooth it out. The other thing too is getting all the air bubbles out, and then just make a nice smooth transition into it. Go a little bit wide, and then layer it off, and be done.
Yeah, I learned you got to get not just the very edge of the tear. You got to
go a little bit, make yourself a little bit of a radius.
Right.
And then, as you see here, tomorrow morning he'll be ready to go back to work.
That's how we fix our waders. I haven't had to actually fix my waders in about a year since I started wearing high and dry. I'm sure at some point I may poke them. But anyways, at some point we'll all be needing to use this again, and I hope that you guys try this product out again. This is strictly for your information, and I hope that it helps some of you guys out. I'm going to put a link below to where you can find it so it's easy and quick for you.
We just wanted to be able to give you guys the knowledge that we have and what we've learned over the years to keep us active in the water, keep us dry, comfortable, and doing what we love to do. Hey, thanks for watching this week. And if you haven't entered in our contest to win a pair of high and dry waders, check out this video right here. Plus, make sure you check out some of our other awesome content right here. Until next time, I'm Joel Strickland. Good hunting and God bless.